Hello, everyone. So I am going to do a flip through of one of the curriculums that I got that I just shared with you guys from the curriculum haul and book haul part one, because I still have part two coming. And this one is from Memoria Press. So I'm going to flip through it. I'm going to show you all the different components to this curriculum, and we're just going to flip into it. Okay. But this is part of the book haul slash curriculum haul. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely go and check out that video first. Okay, so geography one, it's going to cover the Middle East, it's going to cover North Africa and Europe. So there's definitely enough in here to cover you for an entire school year, but depending on how often you do geography, it could be a one semester. My personal opinion is I don't think it's going to do it justice if you take one semester versus like a full school year. So I'll talk later on how I plan on incorporating this in our school studies, because I am going to tweak this just a tiny little bit. Of course, is it even any part of my curriculum if I'm not adding to something? So I'm definitely going to be adding to this, but this is going to be the spine to our world history. So we are going to be doing world history and we're going to be doing US history simultaneously. And I thought I had purchased a US history one. And then when I did the unboxing, I was like, where is it? And I checked my invoices, come to find out I actually never even purchased it. So there you go. So what you're going to need is you're going to need the student workbook. There you go. Student workbook. You're going to need the student text, which is like your textbook. This is where all the information is coming from. And I have two of them, one for each child. And then you have the student workbook. So these are the worksheets. And I have another one somewhere because I got two of those too. And then you're going to need the teacher's guide. I definitely think the teacher's guide is going to be necessary, and I will show you whenever we get through to flipping through it. But I thought first off, I would show you what's inside the student workbook. So we have the student workbook. It's a one pager. Okay. So each country is going to get one page. Very short, sweet, and simple, right? So you have Israel right here. You're going to write your country name, the capital, the ancient name, and you're going to write fun facts. And then for numbers 1, 2, and 3, you're just going to copy the name of the country and the capital 3 times. So it's kind of like that old school way where you see on like Little House on the Prairie where they're learning how to spell cat and they have to write cat like 50 times on the chalkboard. It's kind of the same thing. So you're just going to be writing the country name and the capital 3 times. The part that really sold me on this curriculum was the map work. I really love the maps. They're very clean and open. And so what they're going to be doing is they are going to be picking from this word bank down here, and they're going to be filling in those locations on this map. So where are they going to get that information from? I will tell you. So that's essentially what each one is, okay? So each one, here, let me get in shot. So each one, so you see Afghanistan, you have a review in there. What's your review section? You have Egypt, North Africa. So one page per country, Okay. So where they're going to be getting all the information to fill out in the student workbook, it's coming from the student text. Okay. So we have the student text. And so the student text is where all the information is going to be coming from. And this is a 2-page spread. So hold on. Let me get you. Okay. So here's Israel. So you're going to have story headlines, which I think is just kind of like the big takeaway points for that country. And then let me scoot over here. And then we have fast facts, and you see where the country is located on the map, and you have what the flag looks like. And then modern Israel. So you kind of have like a history of the country over here on the left-hand side, history's headings or headlines. And then over here, you have kind of like a tour of what it's like today. And then see this map? This is where they're getting that information from. So everything in here is filled out. They can take a look at it. So when they go to fill out the map in the student text, they just have to refer back to here. So every country is like that. So let's go to the next one. So here we have Jordan. And so you have one page filled with all the information. You have pictures, and then you have the map. Okay, let's just turn to another random one, Sudan. So you have the same flow, same everything. So history's headlines. Then you have South Sudan. You have some pictures. You have Sudan fast facts. And then you have map. And it's like that for everyone, for every country. So France, all that stuff in there, and the maps. My favorite part are the maps. Did I already say that? I don't know if I already said that. I feel like they're really clean and open. Some maps can feel like really busy, you know? This is very clean and easy to read. Okay, so you have, I showed you the student text. I showed you the student workbook. And then I'm going to show you the teacher's guide. So the teacher's guide is essentially just going to have all the answers in there for you. So I think it's worth it because that's a question I get all the time. Do you think that the teacher's guide is worth it? Yeah, I think it's worth it because it's going to have, I mean, if you want to, you could do without it, you know, because you can just look on the map yourself where everything's located. You know what I mean? You don't really need the teacher's guide for it because it's just such a simple 2-page spread in the student text. Really, you can kind of find this information on your own over there, you know? But what I like is you're going to have the review sections, which are kind of like your quizzes. Like every so often they're going to have a review and they're going to have the answers in here. And I think that's helpful, or else you're going to have to go through and do all the elbow work for it. But you may, if you don't mind that, then I think that you can get away with not having the teacher's guide. And then let's see anything else that maybe in the beginning. I mean, that's kind of it. There's no real like additional instruction in the teacher's guide. So you can see here's the cover page. Here's the copyright page. Here's your table of contents. And then it just jumps straight into it. You see? So you don't, I mean, technically need it, but I always feel like they make my life so much easier when I can just go through and find the answers to things. And that's what the test looks like, by the way. And the quizzes. Oh, you know what? You can only get the quizzes in the teacher's guide because I don't remember seeing that in the student workbook. So you can only get these tests and these quizzes in the teacher's guide. So there you go. You also have blank templates here. And then a list of the countries and capitals in the appendix. See, and here are the answers to all the review questions. I don't want to look all that up. So to me, the teacher's guide is going to be worth it. So let's see. Yeah, it's going to have all that. And then a final test and all that. Okay, the other thing that I also got for our geography, and it's right there when you go to purchase it. And I think I got this, I think it's from the Charter website, but they have the same thing in the regular Memoria Press or the Charter website for Memoria Press. I forgot which one. Because I placed 2 different orders, one for the Charter one for the regular one. The only difference being the Charter one is more secular, and then obviously the regular Memoria Press is not going to be. So flashcards. Oops, there you go. So geography, flashcards. And so I don't want to open it yet because I know myself and I know I'm going to end up losing everything. But what you're going to have, it looks like, is this is what the child is first going to look at, and they're going to look at where it's located on the map, and they're going to look at the capital, and then when they flip the card over, it's going to have the country name. So you can do it either way. I think that you can probably flip it this way where it has all the countries here and then have them describe maybe where that country is located on the map, or at the very least, like what is the capital of it, you know, so then they can practice either way. If you have the country name, then you can try to figure out what the capital name is and test your memory skills that way and self-quiz. But I personally kind of like this way. So you would look at this part first and look at where it's located, look at the capital, and then what's the name of that country, you know? So there you go, guys. That is Memoria Press. That's a flip through of it. This is Geography 1. I don't remember what grade level this was for. I want to say probably the middle school. I don't know. I will include it in here in a little blurb, like right along here, whenever I find out. Because I'll go back and I'll look. But I have a rising 5th grader and I have a rising 7th grader. So, I don't think that they have like a lower level geography unit, and I could be mistaken, but I don't think they have like an elementary version of world geography and a middle school level and a high school level. I think they just have world geography 1, 2, and 3, and then US history, you know, but I will double check. But those are all the components that I got. It's not necessary for you to get the flashcards, but I got it. And there you go. Let me know if you guys have any questions.